You are listening to the Retail's New Normal podcast series hosted by Magestore. Each episode, we will share a lot of retail insights and best practices of how business is growing during or post-COVID-19 pandemic. So, are you ready to adapt to the new normal? Let's join us.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeng.
And this is Kate.
Thank you all for joining in our new episode of the series Retail's New Normal. This series is made by Magestore, an omnichannel point-of-sale solution provider for businesses all around the world. In today's episode, we're so excited to discuss about a brand new topic, multi-channel selling for revenue boost and cost optimization during COVID-19. And we're here with our very special guest, Tran from LitCommerce. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. Can you introduce a little bit about yourself to the audiences?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Marshall. I'm currently working as Content Marketing Manager at LitCommerce, the most simple and affordable multi-channel selling tool.
Thank you. The topic for today is why multi-channel selling is beneficial for the online stores amidst the COVID-19 pandemic and how to do it successfully. So, Michelle, how is your job relating to this? And can you share more about what you're doing at your company, LitCommerce?
Well, at LitCommerce, delivering value to customers is our first priority. As multi-channel selling experts, our job includes doing a lot of research on the latest e-commerce trends to produce content that helps customers' businesses growth.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation from us and being here today. So to get started with the topic for today's episode, and I think it is also a topic that many entrepreneurs and retailers are really into it. So that is the impacts of COVID-19 on the e-commerce landscape. So can you share with the audience of Retail's New Normal, which is mostly retailers, what are some challenges that retailers can face at this time?
Well, since the pandemic, we've seen dramatic changes in the e-commerce industry, one of which is a big leap in online retail sales share of total retail sales, from 16% in 2019 to 19% in 2020. COVID has made the customer behavior shifted from shopping at brick-and-mortar store to online shopping. As opposed to that, we've seen some issues arising with e-commerce web stores. One of the most common problems the standalone retailers have to face is disrupted supply chains due to lockdowns, business closures, and closed borders. Businesses whose supply chain is reliant on Tier 1, which is direct, or Tier 2 secondary suppliers in China are likely to experience significant disruption. As China plays a dominant role as the world's factory, and any major disruption puts global supply chains at risk. On a global level, this leads to higher transportation fees, which along with other factors, increases the overall operational cost of businesses.
All right, well, that's totally makes sense because like in Vietnam, we also see the shortage of goods and, the prices because of that went up. And also the delivery is quite slow, right? So with all these difficulties, what do you think would be the right direction and, trends for the retailer to follow in the upcoming time?
Yes, well, marketplaces are becoming the go-to option for many people due to their delivery system. In the past few years, we've witnessed dramatic increase in the consumer demand on online marketplaces. In fact, the top 100 online marketplaces in the world collectively grow gross merchandise value, which is GMV for short, by 29% in 2020, while 2019 observed a 19.1% GMV growth. Especially, eBay alone has grown the GMV by $14.49 billion from 2019 to 2020. Additionally, Amazon marketplace sellers averaged $160,000 in annual sales in the year ended May 31st, 2020, compared to $100,000 in the same period a year earlier. Along with that, Amazon.com eBay.com and Etsy.com are among the top 4 domains with the biggest increase in rankings on Google in 2020, with eBay.com raised in SEO visibility by 83%.
Okay, so I can see that that's so much of statistic here that you said. You also mentioned marketplace is the emerging trend, and it is really convincing me. So what else do you think that can be a trend?
Well, the last remarkable trend that I would like to discuss here is the change in the way people make payments. Although cash on delivery remains prominent, different e-payment methods are on the rise, particularly through mobile money. In line with many countries' recommendations to switch to digital payments to reduce possible contagion, many e-commerce businesses have recorded significant growth rates in mobile money payments, as well as in e-banking and credit card use.
There's no doubt about that. I totally agree with that. Even in Vietnam right now, or in any country in the world, we can see mobile banking or NFC tap and pay are encouraged everywhere to help us have a safer purchasing experience, especially in the COVID-19 pandemic, right?
Yes.
Right. So you just mentioned about the payment method and the marketplace as the emerging trends. So what do you think retailers should do to adapt to these trends? And I think it's great to start with the payment method first.
Okay, so according to my expertise, the increasing popularity of online payment methods can bring new opportunities along with some other challenges to e-commerce businesses. Because many of the payment processing trends we see during the pandemic are certainly here to stay post-COVID, those who adapt will be those that thrive in the new normal. So it's really important to embrace these new changes and address new risks that have arisen. Business should carefully conduct competitor research, customer surveys, and explore industry reports so as to understand their customers' purchasing preferences. Well, secondly, businesses should address heavy dependence on one medium or high-risk source. The obvious way is to add more sources in locations not vulnerable to the same risks. Managers should consider a regional strategy of producing a substantial proportion of key goods within the region where they are consumed. For example, businesses in North America may shift labor-intensive work to China or to Mexico or Central America, and relying on Eastern Europe countries could also benefit companies selling their goods in Western Europe.
That's a really big scale of all the businesses that you just mentioned. So how about the other trend, which is the marketplace? Why do you think marketplace is so important to apply for retailers and businesses at this time?
I think the moving trends towards marketplaces can be a big opportunity for retailers who are selling on their web stores. Since they already have a solid base for selling online, they can utilize their brand reputation and former experience to expand their sales channels to new marketplaces to broaden their reach. Especially, starting a new sales channel on marketplaces with this set foundation will not be as challenging as their initial steps to build their web store, as there are many applicable multi-channel strategies which have convened the process.
I think that starting any new thing from scratch for businesses might be a pain or marketplace, but what do you think will be the main issues for them in this initial stage? And from your viewpoint, which solutions can they have to minimize all those disadvantages in the situation?
Well, regarding issues, I think it's not uncommon for businesses to face a lot of risks when selling their stuff on a new market. But from my standpoint, one of the most common issues businesses have to face when moving toward a marketplace is that the niche is becoming more and more saturated with tons of product options and sellers that can be found within a single search. So it all comes down to promotion and raising awareness. Starting from SEO is a good idea, and they can combine it with social media marketing to help spread the words.
Yep, exactly.
Well, another issue is that the workload may pile up as they will have to invest more time and effort in managing multiple channels at a time. So when the peak season arrives, they will have to deal with all the orders, the listings, all the stock quantity, and if they can't, it's gonna hurt their sales and also the reputation.
Right.
However, thanks to technology, business can take a different approach to managing a multi-channel business by embracing the integration of different platforms. That way, they can create a streamlined workflow as well as the uniformity of the business across different channels without spending too much effort.
Right. I think I totally agree with you on this, especially when it comes to marketing and SEO. I think we're doing the same in Magestore with the story of beginning from the marketing and then spread it out to do everything else. So as an expert in e-commerce, what have lead extension and LitCommerce had done to help businesses overcome the management challenge during COVID-19?
Well, after over 10 years working in the e-commerce industry, specifically data migration, the people behind lead extension very much understand difficulties in the management of multiple selling channels, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, when consumer behavior changes dramatically and logistics are restricted. Online entrepreneurs have to invest in double the effort.
Right.
That's the reason why we have developed LitCommerce, a multi-channel selling tool with all features that store owners will need to run a multi-channel online business. With LitCommerce, we aim at maximizing the simplicity and affordability so that the tool is accessible for all business sizes. Well, LitCommerce will help retailers effortlessly bulk list products from their web stores to marketplaces, sync inventory and products, orders, and other product information between all selling channels, and consolidate orders from all marketplaces to their web stores. These features help the retailers avoid repetitive tasks, overselling, and allow central management of every selling channel on their web stores, so that retailers can take full advantage of buyers' movement toward marketplaces without worrying about operational crisis.
That is awesome. I mean, that is a lot of works and benefits that LitCommerce brings to retailers during this hard time. And I can feel that you guys has put in your blood, sweat, and tears into this. Very well done. So, as you know, as Magestore, we also have the omnichannel solution for businesses, and it's our pleasure to partner with you guys at LitCommerce to help retailers grow during this hardship. And we hope that LitCommerce expertise in multi-channel selling and our expertise in POS and store operations, we can create a big picture, for businesses and help them to sell smoothly in multi-channels, and of course expand their sales on the marketplace as well. And what about you? What do you think about this partnership between Magestore and LitCommerce?
Well, yes, I cannot agree more here. Well, apart from growing on marketplaces with LitCommerce, retailers on Magento can also benefit from your ecosystem of Magento solutions to design engaging and consistent consumer experience on both online and offline channels. The partnership between Magestore and LitCommerce definitely creates an excellent package for retailers to expand the business on all channels.
Wow, yeah, that's wonderful. And I think with all the insights that you bring to the retail's new normal today would be like so helpful. And I believe that it would be so beneficial for all merchants out there who are experiencing hardships during the pandemic. So we actually want this episode to be longer, but we hope Michelle would bring more exciting things in the other episode of the Retail's New Normal podcast someday in the future, right? So, and yeah, we really had a good time with you today, Michelle, and have a conversation about e-commerce and multi-channels and everything. And again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thanks Jeng and Kate for having me today. Yeah. I really hope to have more chances to work with you guys again in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes for Magestore in the future. Goodbye.
Bye. Alright, so that's it for this week's episode of The Retail's New Normal. Thank you all for listening, and don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast app because you will receive more content from us about retail insights. And of course, don't miss our next episode. Make sure you also visit our website, Magestore.com, where you can also learn about doing retails in the right way with all the tools and knowledge that will make your business a success. Once again, this is Kate.
And this is Keenan.
Wishing you happy podcasting.